I'm about to bust a myth that you've probably believed since you were a teeny tiny little supervisor or manager. When you took yourself off to that first supervisory course to learn how to deal with people, you were probably taught a methodology to give constructive or corrective feedback that's named after a lunch menu item. And that, of course, is the sandwich method. Now, if you don't know what that is, it just simply means tell them something good, and then tell them what you really want to tell them, and then tell them something good, and leave them walking out the door feeling good about themselves. Well, we know it doesn't work, and I'll tell you why it doesn't work in a second. First of all, they don't feel good about themselves because most managers don't have a great poker face. And your employees know that there's another shoe that's about to drop when you're fumbling through the praise that you're giving them to start off this conversation with. And the other thing is that most people don't actually even hear the good news, hear the praise, because the human brain can't process two conflicting emotions at the same time. Most of us are wired to concentrate on what's wrong. So the good news, the good things that we're talking about and that we're telling them that they do, that gets diluted. And instead they focus on the negative. We've got 5 times more neurons in our brains concentrating on what's wrong than what's right. So of course we're going to focus on the wrong. We're going to focus on the negative. So we're not going to hear the positives. However, there's a small percentage of us that are wired just the opposite. And what do they hear? They hear 2 pieces of praise and 1 corrective. Well, maybe they don't hear that corrective because they're just concentrating on the praise and they're like, 2 and 1, I'm doing pretty well. So the next time you get ready to give constructive or corrective feedback, you want to do it directly and succinctly. Now, there are tons of models out there to use. I like to say, tell it to the ear. What was the event? What was the activity that they were involved in, or what was their attribution to that? How did they affect it? And then what was the result? How did it make the others feel that they were dealing with? What was the end result or the outcome in it? It's a really simple model you can use. But don't mess it up by giving them praise and then using that. Save your praise for another time. And by the way, you know what your mother taught you? That it's easier to catch flies with honey than vinegar? Same is true with correcting feedback. The research actually shows that if you catch people doing things right instead of wrong, their performance and their productivity will lift even higher than trying to correct what's wrong. So give it a go.